Good evening, everybody. It's your favorite New York loudmouth again. This is the second video of the night from my super secret location of the J.O.B. Don't tell nobody. Anyway, this is actually a video that I made, or rather decided to make after I read a comment. J. Patrick Pote, who I've seen plenty of times in the comments and who I greeted in a previous video, left a comment on a other video. I think it was the MJ Tanner video where they were reviewing Captain Marvel #1, and he mentioned that he didn't realize that I made content despite seeing me in the comments for a while now. Well, J. Patrick, I didn't know I made content either until about a month ago, so you're not missing anything. But I actually wanted to just briefly discuss why I decided to make, or rather start making content. There's a few reasons. The most important is because I want to. That's probably the most important reason to do anything, right? Ideally speaking, is to do it because you want to. But there actually are a few more reasons why I started and actually why I didn't start earlier. A major reason why I didn't start earlier because I'd actually been considering making videos for about a year. I started thinking about it around this time last year. The reason why I didn't is because, first of all, I don't, as you can see, right, I don't have a great setup. If anything, I probably should have started last year back when my main computer, my laptop, was not broken in half. But I don't have a terribly great setup. And I'm not the best orator. You know, I'm not a great speaker, at least on video. Interestingly enough, when I'm at work and I'm on it and I know that I have to, I guess, perform in a sense, right? I can be a relatively decent public speaker and not do the uhs or the lose my place or the rambling and stumbling and the stuttering and coughing that I can't seem to like that. I can't seem to take out of my presentation doing these videos. So I'll admit, I was self-conscious about that. I was self-conscious about how I would sound on a recording. I have a very heavy voice, as you can no doubt tell, and it can get even heavier when I decide to speak in a very deep tone, which is great for rock singing and it's great for singing villain songs in Disney films, but I'll admit, you know, I am a bit self-conscious about it from time to time, especially when I hear my voice. You know, when I hear my voice normally, hearing myself speak, I think I sound fine. But then when I hear my voice, you know, on a playback, it's like, oh my God, when did my voice get so deep? I like having a deep voice, but it also sounds weird at the same time. That's the best way I can describe it. So I was concerned about that, basically about my presentation. Because this, you know, recording some random thing as I talk is not the way I would like to present my content, honestly. I would like to do, but my goal is eventually, is to have a presentation similar to, say, Mim Headroom or Just Some Guy. You know, there's music, there's graphics, stuff like that. This is, again, just hopefully a momentary blip, a momentary bump in the road. But, again, I want to make better, and I view these videos as sort of like a very rough first draft that I have no choice but to release because I have no way at present to make them better. Again, stuff, you know, stuff like this notwithstanding, you know, I'm not trying to use my work time, you know, to make, you know, videos about comic books and geekdom, right? That's not my job. My job is my job. And, you know, this little hobby that I've taken on thus far is something I try to keep separate. And, you know, like I said in the Captain Marvel #1 review, it took me hours to actually get that file ready and to just do all the setup and all the work. There's actually a lot of work that went into that you don't see because all the video is the final product. So first thing that held me back was concerns about presentation and just my own standards regarding presentation. Another issue, which is much more serious, is that I don't want to incur sincere harassment. I can take insult, I can take saltiness. I'm from New York, and I'm that old school breed. I'm that dying breed of New Yorker that can, talk trash and take it and give it back twice as good. I've grown up. I've grown up in. I've had those character building years and those character building experiences, and I've got a mouth on me, especially if I get angry. I try to restrain it, but if I get ticked off enough, I can tell a person off. But there's a difference between, say, salty comments going back and forth, and then, sincere harassment, like the stuff that EVS has gone through, DNC has gone through. Yes, I'm still calling you DNC. Comics matter. You're still DNC, Rich. But anyway, I don't want to go through those things, right? I don't want to have people call my job or try to cost me my job or plot in Facebook groups to jump me just because they disagree with me on a comic book. So that was another concern, and that's a very valid concern that I still have. I want to, share my thoughts, share my feelings, rant, have debates. I don't want to argue really, but have debates, have discussions. But I don't want to, be swatted or all this other crazy stuff that people who don't like the critics do to the critics, right? Just because they don't like them or don't like what they say. So that held me back for a very long time too, and I sincerely hope and pray that that doesn't happen. I don't want it to happen to me or to Rich or to anybody else. Even on the anti side, I don't want them to experience sincere harassment. I don't want anybody to be harassed. You want to have an argument, you want to have a conversation, okay. But when you start sincerely harassing people or doing things like swatting or doxing, that's when you've gone way too far, and that's, you need to stop. That's basically it, right? So there was that concern, which is still actually a very real concern for me. And so those were the things that were holding me back. So you might be wondering, well, then what made you move forward? One, I have an ego, and I'm arrogant enough to think that you actually give a damn about what I think. That's a big part of it. Another part is that I was somehow gaining subscribers without making content. Again, when I finally decided to make content, I had 15 subscribers, or 14. There were 14 to 15 people who subscribed to me when I wasn't doing anything. I was like, I wonder why. It's like, why are they subscribing if I'm not making content? And then the thought became, well, people are going to subscribe. I can at least, give them something to, literally, right? What's that song go? Let's give them something to talk about, that type of thing. I figured, hey, if there's an audience, maybe I should, give the audience something to be entertained by. So there was that. And I wanted to add to the conversation, right? I just wanted to say, hey, it's not just the guys who are upset about the comics. It's not just this group or that group. I'm upset about them too, and I'm a woman. Or, I'm upset about them too, and I am brown-skinned. Maybe that's not the best of motivations, but it is one of many motivations that I had to start making these videos. So I don't know how long it'll last, right? I don't know what's going to happen. I hope to continue making videos. My goal is to create better videos to improve my production quality. So I make no guarantees, I make no promises, but right now, I plan to put out videos every few days, cover stuff. What I want to do is make a few videos ever so often about stuff that I actually like in geekdom, favorite games, favorite characters, favorite comic book issues, favorite, moments, stuff like that. I don't want to be just a channel where I just rant and rave about everything that's wrong. I also want to, show the love and show what's right or what was right. So hopefully that answers the question you may or may not have been asking about why I started making content. Basically, I'm arrogant. I have an ego, and hey, you guys apparently are interested. But anyway, I'm hoping to make a few videos this weekend. My goal is to make some positive videos, maybe read some comic issues I actually like and then point out what I really like about them. So it'll be, me, geeking out and ranting in happiness instead of frustration. That's the goal anyway. So again, have a good weekend. See you on the flip side. Bye.